Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, first thing, everyone please turn your cell phone off, including our sound man here. And if you'd like to take a photo, please do afterward, not now. So thank you to all for coming. Especially thank you to Vedanta Chaitanya Prabhu for coming. Vishesh Dhanyavadam Vedanta Chaitanya Prabhu ko. Mujhe malum nahi kaise Telugu bolna hai. Today is a very happy and auspicious day. Because today, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who used to wander all over South India on his Sankirtan Padayatra, is again starting out on his Sankirtan Padayatra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered all over South India on the excuse of searching out his elder brother who had taken sannyas before him. But actually his reason was to deliver Krishna consciousness to everyone. And that he did principally by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left Puri for South India, he first went to Alvanath, and there was the first Sankirtan festival on his tour. And we can only try to imagine how ecstatic that was. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, and so many devotees all chanting the holy names of Krishna and dancing in ecstasy. So after that, Nityananda Prabhu predicted that such chanting would in future be heard in every village in the world. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu similarly predicted, Prithivite ache jato nagara digram sarvatra pracha hoibe mornam. In every town and village of the earth, my name will be broadcast. Actually, the word is there, sarvatra, which means in between the towns and villages also. So that's what this Sankirtan Padayatra is meant for. That, of course, one Padayatra will not go to every town and village in the whole world, but some area of the world can be covered. That's why Srila Prabhupada, in relation to what at that time was called the bullock cart program, when Prabhupada started it, he said there can be millions of such carts. As the empowered representative of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada wanted to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. And for this purpose, he journeyed from India and made his first base overseas in New York City. Then his next center was in San Francisco and then Toronto. And in this way, the Hare Krishna movement spread all over the world. First of all, to the major cities of the world, famous cities of the world. And in India also, Srila Prabhupada established ISKCON in the major cities. When in Srila Prabhupada's presence, centers were established in Calcutta, New Delhi, Chandigarh, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Chennai, and those were the only. Actually, Chennai center also wasn't Pucker at that time. So there were a few centers, plus in the big cities. Bangalore wasn't established. There was a rented house, that's all. No, there was nothing Pucker. We didn't have a center proper. In Calcutta it was rented, but we had deities established. And of course also in Mayapur and Vrindavan. So the idea was that we should establish first in the major cities, because these are very influential. But if we're to reach every town and village, we just can't stay in the cities all the time. Srila Prabhupada himself traveled to various villages in India. In Gujarat, he traveled with some of his disciples in some village areas. And also here in close to Hyderabad, there was one farm project established. So Srila Prabhupada was very eager to preach Krishna consciousness everywhere, and he especially noted that the culture of India, the Vedic culture, is going on especially in the villages. So he asked Lokanath Maharaj to start the bullock cart program. The idea is to take cart with the bullocks and to do Sankirtan from village to village. Srila Prabhupada instructed how to do this. He told Lokanath Maharaj that first of all, when you go into a village, you go to the village well, because everyone goes there. That's the center of the village. Then you do Sankirtan and everyone will come to see. Then you collect greens. You ask everyone to give greens. And then you tell everyone that in the evening there'll be a program. So our program means Kirtan, Krishna Katha and Prasad distribution. So the people, they give grains and then you cook it, offer it to Krishna and give it back to them as prasad, and they'll be very happy. And Srila Prabhupada, he said there are two main things you have to tell the people or communicate to them. One thing is to give them a taste for chanting the holy names. And another thing, tell them don't go to the city, because in the village they can preserve their culture. If they go to the city, they just become rakshasas. Prabhupada didn't say that. I'm paraphrasing here. So, that was almost 40 years ago. And the Rakshasa culture has spread to every town and village in India. If any village has more than 100 houses, there's a chicken shop also. And you won't see many young people because they already left for the village. So it's more urgent than ever that these millions of carts go village to village. So it's actually amazing how, despite this Rakshasa culture being promoted by the Rakshasa leaders, that people in India still have so much religious feeling. Unfortunately, that's being diverted by various people. Within what is called Hindu religion, there are many people who are diverting people's natural sentiments of bhakti toward themselves. They promote themselves instead of promoting Krishna. And many are going around and trying to convert people, what they call converting them to different religions. Actually, if people want to follow the example of Christ, we would be very happy. But in the name of Christ, they are becoming completely inimical toward Vedic culture and offensive. So yes, the need is greater than ever. So yes, it's a very happy and auspicious day that this cart program will start now. I congratulate Vishnu Swami Prabhu for taking this up seriously. There will be many challenges ahead, no doubt. You don't know what's going to happen. It's not stereotyped, that's for sure. But you just go village to village with faith in the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And of course, another very important part of the I mentioned the Kirtan, Katha and Prasad, but there's also the distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books is essential in every town and village and in between. This is the greatest welfare work. Generally, in the name of religion, people think that we have to serve the body. But giving people the knowledge by which they won't get any more body, that is by far the best welfare work. So you have to teach and speak on the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. And there will be many objections and questions. So you have to take time out for regularly studying Srila Prabhupada's books. We can invite all the devotees to take part in this, at least from time to time. You can keep in contact with those who are living in the city, and they can come out at the weekends and join you. This is an ideal program for Vanaprastha life, Adarsh. When the children are settled and you still have some energy, you can go village to village and preach. Invite all the devotees to be inspired by Srila Prabhupada's example, that at an age when people, they stop doing things, they just relax. And Srila Prabhupada started to become more active than most people, even when they're young, because he was so eager to spread Krishna consciousness to others. So those who are like that, who are their children are grown up and settled, and you can join this Padayatra or start another one and take this knowledge and culture of Krishna consciousness town to town, village to village. So this is this village to village preaching program. It's a natural adjunct to the farm program, the Krishna conscious farm program. That question just came up on Sunday. What's your name, Prabhu? You asked that about the village preaching? Yeah, you'd asked about, in Secunderabad on Sunday, you'd said, after the class, you asked the question that, well, what are we doing in the villages? We're only in the towns. And then I invited you here, so thank you for coming. So many people think, well, ISKCON is just for the rich people in the cities. No, ISKCON is for everyone. We want to see everyone chanting Hare Krishna. Still the majority of India's population is still in the village. But the culture is commercial. It means it's like a city culture now. That agriculture is business now. That instead of producing what people need for their own personal necessities, everyone is going cash crops. And we see in the small villages that people come around on motorbikes and sell vegetables, because no one grows vegetables, even for themselves. They just grow cash crops. And everyone in the village thinks, well, I have to have a motorbike and a TV and a cell phone and this and that and this and that and everything else. So they're losing their culture of living simply. So we have a great task to inform people that human life is meant for God realization. And for God realization, we should live as simply as possible. We should not be bewildered into thinking that life is better if we have more machines. We should communicate to others that life is better if we have less distractions and more bhakti. Upadrav, maybe? It's not exactly, but almost. It's not really the right word, is it? What's the right word? Not kashtana. Antarai? Okay. Another very important point is that we want to communicate this Sankirtan. It's something that everyone can do in their own home. We are here at Yadagirigutta, famous place of worship of Lakshmi Narasimha Swami. So with the blessings of Narasimha Dev Bhagavan, we will start this Sankirtan Padayatra. And many people, of course, come here for darshan and blessings. But we need to communicate to people that this Sankirtan Dharma you can do every day in your own home. It's not that you have to come to some holy place to do it. You chant Hare Krishna, make your home a holy place. You make the whole village a holy place. You don't have to rely on a brahmana to do all the pujas for you. We don't disrespect the brahmanas. We have great respect for those who are worshipping the Lord. But you yourself in your own home can chant Hare Krishna and achieve all perfection. So, preaching, of course, is not only by speaking, but by personal example also. So, definitely people will think when they see someone who was previously working as an engineer is now coming to our village and asking us to chant Hare Krishna and living very simply. So, thank you again for taking this up. And the test is now. We will be very happy to see you go on and on and on and on. Actually, this bullock cart program was started by Srila Prabhupada, and then sometime after Prabhupada left, the bullock cart program just didn't go on anymore. Then ahead of the centennial of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of his appearance in this world, in 1986, devotees were thinking of all different programs how to celebrate this. Not centennial, 500-year anniversary. So this Padayatra was proposed to walk from Dwaraka to Mayapur to reach for Gaur Purnima in 1986. And going through South India in a reverse order to many of the places that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited. So I believe that was started in 1984 then. So the idea was we'll reach to Mayapur but it's still going on after almost 27 years now. So I don't know if I'll be in this body after 27 years, but I surely pray that this Padayatra will still be going on. So, may there be millions of carts, and may there be millions and millions of hearts that are imbued with love for Krishna by the Sankirtan Padayatra devotees. And you can also bring devotees from the West and have them learn Telugu and speak. That will be very effective. Jai Hare Krishna. So we had Kirtan and Katha. I think it's time for prasad. Maybe a little Kirtan just before that.